What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm here with my friend Taylor with an awesome beard. We're here to talk how he has a fully remote Amazon business using virtual assistants and prep centers, doing around 10K a month in profit. So I'm very excited to share this with you guys and everything. And so you're doing OA and you're traveling full time now, but it totally didn't start that way. So talk me through how you got into Amazon and everything we do right now in this glorious world, hosting seller conferences, all that stuff.
100%. Yeah, the glorious world. Yeah, I was doing all retail arbitrage. I hated my sales job at Xerox. Found Gary Vee, started flipping stuff on eBay, quickly moved into Amazon. And then I was like, once retail arbitrage is a hustle though. I mean, I was grinding eight,
Yeah,
10 hours a day. Some days
driving around and all that. Yeah.
I would go out for 4 or 5 hours and not find anything. But got started, the pandemic hit, found some crazy deals, during Corona. And then after about a year and a half of that, I transitioned to online arbitrage about 6 months ago. And that's allowed me to travel full time, which has been awesome.
Yep. And so online arbitrage is pretty much what I talk about. It's the main business model I do as well. So you're finding stuff that's profitable from big retail websites and selling them through Amazon's platform, right? So a variety of categories, clothing, toys, whatever is profitable that you can find.
Yeah, I started out doing all toys
Yeah.
because I met Jameson on the road. I don't know if you've talked.
Another great guy. Hopefully I'll have on for a video as well.
Yeah, he's very, very talented. I met him early on, and he taught me, how to do toys. But then after about a year and a half of that, I transitioned into more clothing, accessories, sporting goods, because I would buy a toy and then it would just tank. And I think I don't.
Because toys is a category a lot of people are interested in. Because I guess like one, it's easier to understand in that there's one central listing for like there's not like variations and stuff like that. So it's more, but in a sense that like the volume on a shoe, for example, with a bunch of different sizes is much different than the volume on one toy listing where there's one buy box. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And that's why I avoided shoes for the longest time, was because I went to Marshalls and I saw like, oh, 40K sales rank. This is going to fly. And then it didn't sell and it pissed me off. So I didn't sell shoes. And then literally this month is the first month I started selling shoes, and I'm hooked now. I'm like, because I know how to look at the Keep It chart and look at the different variations. It's a game changer.
Yeah, yeah. So walk us through exactly how your business works and that you travel full time. In like the past few months, you've been in Mexico, Costa Rica, Belize, Guatemala, Miami, a bunch of these places. So how exactly are you still able to sell on Amazon during that?
Yeah. So how it works is, every Amazon business, you have, your lead finding generation. You're finding your leads, you're placing the orders, and then you have your store management. I was doing all of that myself, and now I've got to the point where I have now 4 virtual assistants finding me all of the leads, and even sometimes placing orders for me. All I do is I go in when I go to work, maybe a few times a week. I place all of the orders for my stores and the stores that I manage.
Yeah.
And then, or actually, what I've been doing recently is I'll just go into the spreadsheet, and we have a column in our spreadsheet. Let's say that they sourced 15 leads for the day. I'll read out the ones I don't like, and I'll tell them how many units to buy on the leads I do like. They go in, they place all the orders. They're doing all of the repricing, all the customer service, all the VAs are doing that. And then I just get my payout from Amazon, and then, live life.
Yeah, and absolutely. Obviously, it took a while to get to that point, but there's like two main components to what you have going on. The first part being the virtual assistants, which are kind of the more lever moving part of it, basically. So you're finding people using some of these remote work sites, basically, that are located in like the Philippines, for example, that are looking for stable work from home type jobs where they can, work with people overseas or whatever. And they're offer a great service, and it's typically more affordable than hiring someone domestically because the dollar goes a lot further there. So you're able to find these people that are awesome, hardworking, and are able to help you going ahead and source these different items to flip on Amazon, basically. So, and then when they find something, they're using the same tools you use, the same methods you use. It's just you can arbitrage off, hiring them and everything. So they go through, and are they doing like tactical arbitrage or manually sourcing? Did you train them, or did they come already knowing how?
Most of them had some experience, but then I'm training them like on this specific websites and specific categories and the types of criteria that I want. We don't use any tactical arbitrage. We really don't use a lot of software at all.
So just a lot of manual stuff.
All manual. A little bit of storefront stocking, but a lot of it's just like, yeah, definitely.
Reverse sourcing, finding items that are clearly arbitrage and meet your criteria in terms of volume, category, ungating wise, and then going out and looking for those on these different sites.
100%,
Cool,
and,
cool.
I tell people a virtual assistant starts to make a lot of sense very early on. Like as soon as you start spending a few grand a month, it starts making sense, at least in my eyes.
Yeah.
Um, but especially if you're updating spreadsheets and stuff, a lot of people use Inventory Lab. I don't. I track my profit with a spreadsheet. I just don't know why you would.
That's gangster. That is gangster. I did not expect you to say that.
No, I don't like it. And I have a spreadsheet that literally tells me my profit to the penny that my bookkeeper calculates every
Ah,
week.
cool.
And I know few resellers I watch that are doing bigger numbers than me are still updating their own spreadsheets. I'm like,
Mhm.
yo, y'all
Yeah,
are.
just like getting detailed or whatever. And how much in sales did you do in March and how much are you expecting to do in April?
Let's see. I ended March with
Yes,
57,000.
that's probably right around 10K in profit, which is fantastic money, especially for a remote operation where you're kind of designed your business around the lifestyle you want to live. And that's something I've kind of done the exact opposite. And now probably the next few years I'm going to try to model more of that in my own life.
Yeah. No, but it's great. I think I look at the most success that I've had, and it's been like that 1 year in 2020 where I was just like 10, 12 hours a day
Here it is.
on
Yeah.
business. And part of me kind of misses that, honestly.
Well,
Um,
there's a certain part of, like, in just your spirit of building something, you know what I mean? Because this is, like, just entrepreneurship in general, right? There's no classes that teach, like, exactly how to it's too unpredictable, especially in an industry like this that didn't even really exist 10 years ago. E-com, or at least nowhere near the scale of what it is now, what it'll be in the future. What are you on pace to do in April, you think, sales-wise?
I think right now I'm at like 30,000.
So, yeah, you should beat it. Yeah, probably, like,
I'll definitely hit
65,
60.
70.
I'll
Yeah.
definitely hit 60, probably mid 60s, maybe 70.
Yep, and you're not gonna touch any of these items.
As of yesterday, that changed. I
Okay.
am out here visiting my girlfriend's family, and I was like, screw it. I'm going to go to the outlet mall.
Oh, that's different though. The majority of the items, yeah, the majority
Yeah. And I dropped like
got
3 grand
the like
yesterday. I dropped
beautiful.
it
So,
on.
how is it that you're able to not touch most of, if not all the items on a normal month with this stuff
Yeah. So this inventory that I bought yesterday is the first inventory that I bought all year that I've
that
touched.
you've touched? Yeah.
And it's because of prep centers. Prep centers do everything. And I have one in Texas, Rocket Packaging, they're called. Uh,
Mhm.
they do everything for 80 cents a unit. And I'm on track next month. I think it's 2,000 units a month. They go to 70 cents per unit.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
it's
sales
tax
tax there,
free.
but it still probably
Yeah.
matches
But
up.
here's why I am keeping it. I was about to switch to a tax free state, but I'm their biggest client. And like the guy calls me once a week and like they have all my stuff out
Oh,
within.
so it's like a mom and pop operation. That's beautiful. They'll probably scale quickly because it's a very in-demand service and everything that I've tried to go into in the past,
Yeah.
and everything. So that's
So,
really
so you pulled the plug on that.
oh, yeah, that's a story for another time. But and not that it like went wrong or anything. It just wasn't what I was. We were talking about lifestyle in terms of like, you've built your business around. I've kind of done the opposite, and that totally didn't fit in, and that the warehouse was too far away and everything. That's a
I
completely
had my
different story.
warehouse for 2 days, and I
I
called.
remember that. That was last year then, probably around this time, right? June.
And I called the lady. I'm like, "You can shut my thing down and I'm stop payments. I'm done." She's like, "Taylor, you just moved in." And I'm like, "I know, but I'm not busting my ass in a warehouse sweating for 8 hours a day. Like, this is not why
Right,
I
and
got."
you could just use the third party service, and you had gotten to the point then where you understood Amazon well enough. That's something I think a lot of people have misconceptions of wanting to get VAs and some of these like sexier part of the business that help kind of more advanced people. But you have to be able to do this stuff on your own before you can manage someone at the scale you need to be successful, or in the right way you need to be successful with all this and
Yeah,
everything.
managing a VA is not an easy thing. Like if you get you maybe you'll
And
get
it gets easier over time though, right? Because they grow, they get better. And that's the same way you do in terms of your management. Like Amazon's a skill just like anything else. Like all this stuff is not binary. It's not that you can source items that way or you can't. It's that I'm not as good as I can be in the future when I've like literally every single day for a year in a row, I've worked on sourcing OA, right? Same thing with content, right? Every day for like almost 2 years, right about I probably missed like 10 days of Instagram feed posts in like 2 years as of like June 2020 and all that, right? The more you do something, the better you get at it. And there's a flywheel effect. This is like probably my favorite business concept in the world, right? You spend more money on, or so you, the more you source, the more profitable items you sell, the more fun it is because the more money you make, the more you source, the better you get at it and all that. And it just creates a
I
beautiful
haven't heard that.
cycle.
I haven't heard
Yeah,
that.
it's an interesting concept in terms of like a lot of my audience is beginners that are looking to do the stuff you're doing with online arbitrage, the stuff I talk all about that. Do you have any tips in terms of beginners or actually even I like this question better. Walk me through your process of hiring VAs because honestly, your example is what I tell other people to use. So walk
Yeah.
us through that.
So when you're going to get a lot of, no matter where you go to find a VA, I go to online jobs.
I use that as well. You literally used it the other day,
Yeah, but there are other places you can use. You're going to get, there's so much demand over there for work.
which is
So
fantastic. Yeah.
yeah, you're going to get hundreds of applicants typically, depending on your job posting. So you need to filter through that very quickly. And one of the best ways to do that is post a specific task to
Which
do.
which
Yeah.
could be as simple as like put your favorite color in the email you send me, because you get the people that just copy and paste immediately. And if someone can't read deep into the application, they're probably not going to be best for your business.
Yeah, and so put something specific like that in the job posting, and then only look at the job app, whatever that's called there that actually did the task, and you'll be
Yeah.
surprised. Less than 20% of the people
Which is
actually.
good though, because that makes it easy to filter though who's serious and who you actually want.
Yeah, so that's what I would recommend is do that, and then find someone that pays attention to detail, is willing to learn, and that is competent. And that's why I recommend getting on a Zoom call with them because you can
Oh,
tell.
you have to. Yeah, yeah. And you have to get to know the person too, right? Because you guys are theoretically should be together for a while if it's, the relationship each of you guys are looking for and everything.
Yes, exactly. And then as for beginners, credit, I think that was the
That's
one.
been huge for me, because that's right. That's a double-edged sword, though. It can, if it gets bad, it can go bad just in terms of the way it works. But it can, if you get good at confident in buying stuff, like that was what catapulted me past 100K a month in sales, like for
Yeah.
like the past 8 months.
So I think the biggest things I wish I would have known sooner is like prep center, obviously,
Yeah.
like prep center because
Bro, today's the first day I've ever had items. Sorry for interrupting you. But today's the first day I've ever had a prep center send it. Like the one I signed up with last week, they just sent 500 of my items today, and dude, like that was absolutely worth the like whatever $600 it's gonna cost. Because I'm gonna profit like around 2 grand or so on it after the prep cost, right? And I didn't have to deal with any of the packaging, any of the
so now
spaghetti.
you're still now. I have a question, Miles. You're on your stories. I see you posting.
Oh, I still do some myself. Yeah, because I like I said, today was the first day I'd ever done it. You know what I mean? So I'm
So
still totally doing
how
some
do you
myself.
make those decisions from if you're going to ship it to your house or ship it to the prep center?
It kind of depends. Like thus far, I'm so new to it. It's literally this week, but it can be like
Oh, so
depending
you
on the
just started
profitability.
using. You just
Yeah,
started
some
using.
stuff's so low hanging fruit that even if the ROI is a little lower, like I will be happy when that stuff makes me $400 in a week for that hour. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Like, dude, I mean, 3 years ago I was working, at a camp and it was an unpaid intern. You know what I mean? Like there's certain things that there's low hanging fruit that I think I should still take. You know what I mean? And then also I just sorry.
No, I was agreeing. I was saying you're
Yeah,
right.
and I still do some merch fill and everything just for the time being while I'm in one place, that which could be a while, who knows? You know what I mean? I'm happy to take that extra low-hanging fruits. That's just kind of the ideology, but I definitely want to get one man. So it's interesting. Like I've been working on bringing my being a little bit better with sourcing. 'Cause I've been spending a lot of money and everything. I just want to make sure I'm doing it in a responsible way and everything. And I think I should be putting a little bit more attention to detail in terms of different items and everything. And I'm not saying I'm mad with the money. Like last month was like 20K in profit or whatever, but I just percentage wise, I think I want to be a little bit better just because I think looking a little extra into detail, I can get that up and everything.
instead of just focusing solely on like spend more money.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm like, it's very profitable regardless, but I just think I could be a little bit better. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
Absolutely.
we'll see on that. But yeah, I think that was really fun chopping it up here. Taylor's socials are in the description and they're right there. So you guys go check him out. He's a great guy. He's helped me with a lot of stuff. He just had an awesome Amazon seller conference. So hit him up about anything like that. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe, do what you got to do and all that. Be back on Monday for another video. Thanks a lot, guys. Talk to you soon.